Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm Ernest Lunning with Colorado Politics, here with State Representative Shannon Bird, a Democrat running in the primary in Colorado's 8th Congressional District, for the chance to take on first-term Republican Gabe Evans in what we've just been talking about, one of the most competitive congressional races in the country. Today, she's going to be answering questions prepared by AARP Colorado. We'll be asking the same questions to Representative Evans and the other Democrats who are also running for this crucial seat. Please take a minute to introduce yourself and tell the viewers why you're running.
Thank you. First, Ernest, it's so nice to be here today, and I'm thrilled to answer your question. So I've been representing the people of House District 29 for the last 7 years. I'm originally from Reno, Nevada, raised by my single mom and my grandmother. I grew up in a trailer park, and my grandmother used her tip money, she was a dealer in the Nevada casinos, to help us afford a place to live and our groceries. And that upbringing, I think, really informs a lot of the perspective I bring to my leadership role. I got my start in public service by volunteering in my kids' classrooms. That led me to fighting for a school district bond measure to help us repair broken down, poorly maintained school buildings, and to help us pay our teachers what they so desperately deserve. I fell in love with serving my community, and because of that work was inspired to run for the state legislature, where I've worked hard to fully fund Colorado's public schools for the first time in 15 years. I've fought to pass legislation to make housing more affordable and to bring down the cost of healthcare and make that more accessible. And now I'm in the fight to represent the good people of Colorado's 8th and bring that same work ethic and value system to go and work for my people some more.
Let's get to the questions here. As far as caregiving, an important topic for the AARP and folks all around the state, new data shows that there's more than 1 million family caregivers in Colorado. What kind of policies or legislation would you champion to ease caregiver burdens?
I know that caregiver burdens are one of the biggest challenges facing so many families in our state. From my time serving as chair and vice chair of our state's Joint Budget Committee, this is a problem that we tackled head on, particularly with respect to Medicaid, making sure we were appropriately funding and supporting families and caregivers who might be hired to help support those families taking good care of their aging relatives. And Ernest, this problem is only going to continue to grow in our state as our population is aging. State demographers show that the share of families and population aging, and particularly aging in place, is growing. This is something to be tackled not only on a state level, but also on a federal level, making sure that Medicare and Medicaid and our private insurance companies are offering appropriate reimbursements and supports so that families have the resources they need to give care to aging adults and keeping people at home for as long as possible.
Okay. I guess we have some other questions that are kind of along those lines, but in terms of livable communities, older Coloradans not immune to the housing affordability crisis, I don't think anyone in Colorado is, what policy solutions will you seek to help Coloradans age 50 and older find and keep affordable housing?
This is such an important question. In Colorado, we know housing affordability is one of the key challenges, particularly in Colorado's 8th. I know this is an issue that is brought up over and over again. People are concerned about being able to make either their rent or their mortgage payments. And I know senior citizens frequently are living on fixed incomes, and most would prefer to age in place. This is something that we need to make a possibility. We also need to create opportunities for families to downsize. This is work that I have already championed in our Colorado State Legislature by working to pass groundbreaking legislation to kickstart construction of condominiums, which are a more affordable home ownership opportunity, not only for first-time home buyers, but also for seniors who might find an existing home too expensive or the maintenance requirements too much and would like to downsize and still own. This is work that I would expect to champion and continue at a congressional level.
Along those lines, as the number of Coloradans over the age 50 increases, what can be done to help them age in place and remain in their communities?
Aging in place is one of the best ways to maintain quality of life for our aging population. People stay healthier and have as I say, fewer health problems, and it's better to keep our families together. Local governments, together with state and federal support, doing the good work to make sure our communities are walkable, that we have more transportation supports and alternatives to help our seniors make it to the doctors, maybe when family isn't available, but definitely making sure we have more walkable communities and that there are transportation supports for our aging seniors so that they can go and do their shopping and stay at home as long as possible.
What do you see as the biggest public health challenges facing the state, and how will you address it in Congress?
I would say that the biggest public health challenge facing our state is actually affordability and people's concerns with being able to access affordable, high-quality healthcare when they need it. In Colorado's 8th, I hear people being very concerned about the acts of this current administration to slash health insurance supports and all of the mechanisms that people used to access health insurance on health insurance exchanges, concerns that people have getting access to Medicaid, so many big cuts to our community health clinics. I am so concerned about threats to public health related to slashing of funding and what that's going to do to the financial stability of community health clinics that so many people rely upon for preventive health care and basic vaccines to keep themselves healthy. What I'll do in Congress is continue to work to make sure that we are funding community health clinics. So many people, if they don't have insurance, depend upon community health clinics and hospitals, hospital emergency rooms. All are dependent upon a lot of important supports from the federal government. That needs to be remedied immediately.
Well, thanks. From a legislative perspective in Congress, what can be done to improve our state as a great place for fitness, health, and well-being for Coloradans of all ages?
I believe continued investment in and preservation of Colorado's outdoor spaces. Colorado is an incredibly beautiful state that offers unique outdoor opportunities that so many other states can't say that they have the same. We also have the amazing weather that supports that. And being outside is one of those key core components of maintaining a healthy life. That's something that benefits all of us, no matter what our age is, whether you're younger or older. So continued protection of our public lands, investment in walkable spaces, green belts, continued planning in local communities to make sure that people have livable, walkable spaces and easy ways to be safe and spend time outside. That's something that I know we've worked on as a state to make sure we're supporting local communities and making those investments. And I know that the federal government has a key role in that as well. That is something that I know is so important, something I'm committed to. I know from my days serving as a member of the Westminster City Council, keeping the outdoors accessible to all of us is something that helps keep us all happy, safe, and healthy.
Well, thank you. Turning to financial and consumer-related issues, we've got Colorado is tackling major consumer safety issues as technology rapidly evolves and changes, including guardrails when businesses and governments use AI to make major decisions that impact people. What's your philosophy on balancing consumer rights and technological innovation?
I believe that our laws should protect people, as that's our very first priority, making sure that we are never discriminated against, that AI is never used to inappropriately deny jobs or services to people or in any way harm our daily life. If anything, that technology should serve to make things easier for us and help us to improve our daily quality of life. I think that's possible. Regulation should be thoughtful and carefully crafted to make sure that people are protected first and that we can still continue to be a state where innovation happens. Money comes and wants to be invested here in Colorado to be innovative and start new businesses and do good things that help improve people's quality of life. I believe that well thought out, carefully crafted legislation can do both of those things, and that's the type of work I would expect to champion as the next Congresswoman for Colorado's 8th.
Groups like AARP consistently hear from members that rising utility costs pose affordability challenges for Coloradans on a fixed income. Everyone else too, I'm sure. But in Congress, how would you ensure affordable utilities for older Coloradans?
In my role as state representative, every other year I get to be on the ballot. And I am out knocking on constituent doors, and I can't tell you the number of times I've knocked on seniors' doors who have told me that because of energy costs, or even other basic costs, the impossible choices they're faced to make or forced to make, whether they're going to pay their increased utility bill or whether they're going to pay their groceries or make a copay for their medication. Impossible choices. And I know in Colorado's 8th, this is a huge concern. I believe we all need access to safe, reliable, inexpensive energy to make sure that we always get the heat we need to stay home, warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and to power a modern day economy. I believe that happens by making sure we're not taking away people's choices. I'm very concerned about the federal government's actions to slash grants and investment in renewable energy, which many families have invested in as a way to bring down their energy costs. Sure. We need more options, not fewer options. We also need continued investment in our energy grid to make sure that our energy supply is it's consistent, that we're not concerned about blackouts or brownouts. Very concerned about the federal government's cutting of investment in renewal of our grid. So as the next member of Congress, those will be investments that I want to make sure are brought right back home here to Colorado so that we all have access to reliable and affordable energy so that no senior and no family is forced to make impossible choices.
Closer to home with your job in the legislature, Colorado established a Prescription Drug Affordability Review Board to research and review the costs of prescription medications. Do you support this idea, and what steps can Congress take to ensure that medications are affordable to all Coloradans?
Ernest, I do support this. I believe that it's important to have an independent look at what people are being required to pay for their medications. We've seen in certain instances there have been bad actors in this space. Well, this was a while ago, but a good example is how a particular actor in the pharmaceutical space increased the cost of insulin when that didn't need to happen. That can't be the case. There needs to be some independent, objective review, making sure that nobody is taken advantage of, and that to the extent a medication is priced as it is, it's priced fairly. And we want to make sure also that, again, our country is a place where we're innovating and developing new medications, and also making sure that we're always protecting the consumer and that nobody is cornering a market or gaming the system in some way that is abusive of consumers. So I'm supportive of this review and would be supportive of that on a federal level as well, to make sure that we are always protecting people's ability to get the medication and the health care they need.
Well, thank you. That brings us to the end of our round of questions here. I appreciate you taking the time to come before viewers and let them know what you're thinking about these important issues.
Well, it was an honor to be here. Ernest, thank you for the thoughtful questions, and I'm so excited to continue my work representing the good people here in Adams County and in Weld County in the future, and look forward to partnership with AARP to make sure that the interests of our seniors are always heard in Congress and always well represented.
I'm sure they'll be glad to hear that. Well, thank you. Please check out our interviews with the other 8th Congressional District candidates and candidates for governor on coloradopolitics.com and at the AARP Colorado. Thanks for watching.